Hello students, today we'll start with the F block elements, and in that we'll be dealing with the lanthanoid elements first. To start with the general introduction of lanthanoid elements, we'll see the elements in which the last electron enters the anti-penultimate energy level, that is n minus 2 f orbitals are called F block elements, and these elements have been termed as F block elements since the last electron enters one of the f orbitals, and these are also called as inner transition elements. This is because the last electron in them enters into n minus 2 f orbitals, that is inner to the penultimate energy level, and they form a transition series within the transition series d block elements, and their general electronic configuration is n minus 2 f 1 to 14 n minus 1 d 0 to 1 ns 2. Thus they have three incomplete shells, that is n minus 2, n minus 1 and nth shell there. So we'll study about the lanthanoid elements first in detail. Classification of F block elements. There are two series of F block elements, and they are 4F series called as lanthanoid elements and 5F series called as actinoid elements respectively. The elements in which the last electron enters one of the 4F orbitals, they are called as lanthanoids because they can come immediately after lanthanum, and there are 14 elements with atomic number 58 to 71, and these are called as rare earth elements. Actinoid elements, these are those elements in which the last electron enters one of the 5f orbitals, and they are called F block elements, and there are 14 elements which come under it with atomic number 90 to 103, and they are called as actinoids because they come immediately after actinium. We'll study in detail first the lanthanoid elements. Firstly, we'll see the electronic configuration of lanthanoids, and the members of this series with electronic configuration is shown in this table. The common oxidation states and the electronic configuration in these oxidation states are also shown. Usually the common oxidation state that is exhibited by lanthanoid element is +3 oxidation state. So there are 14 elements followed by lanthanum. After lanthanum is cerium with atomic number 58, and its electronic configuration is Xc4f2 5d06s2. Then praseodymium, electronic configuration is xenon 4f3 5d06s2. Neodymium, xenon 4f4 5d06s2. Promethium 61 is its atomic number, xenon 4f5 5d06s2. Samarium 62, xenon 4f6 5d06s2. Europium 63 is its atomic number, xenon 4f7 5d06s2. Gadolinium 64 is its atomic number, xenon 4f7 5d16s2. Terbium 65 atomic number, xenon 4f9 5d06s2 is its electronic configuration. Dysprosium 66, Xc4f10 5d06s2. Holmium 67, Xc4f11 5d06s2. Erbium, xenon 4f12 5d06s2. Thulium 69 is its atomic number, xenon 4f13 5d06s2. Then ytterbium, YB is its abbreviation. 70 atomic number xenon 4f14 5d0 6s2, and lutetium Lu 71 is its atomic number, and its electronic configuration is Xe 4f14 5d1 6s2. And in the electronic configuration of these lanthanoid elements, the following points are noteworthy. Lanthanoids have the electronic configuration with 6s2 common, but with the variable occupancy of 4f level. However, the electronic configurations of all the tripositive ions are of the form 4fn, where the value of n ranges in between 1 to 14 with increasing atomic number. And the electronic configuration of cerium, Z equals to 58, is 4f2 5d0 6s2. The electronic configuration of europium is 4f7 6s2, and that of gadolinium, Z equals to 64, is 4f7 5d1 6s2, and this is explained on the basis of extra stability of the half-filled orbitals in their cores. The electronic configuration of ytterbium, atomic number Z equals to 70, is 4f14 6s2, and that of lutetium Z equals to 71 is 4f14 5d1 6s2, and this is also explained on the basis of extra stability of the completely filled orbitals in their cores. Let's see the oxidation states of lanthanoid. As I said, the typical oxidation state of lanthanoid elements is +3. The oxidation state of +2 and +4 are also exhibited by some of the elements, and these are shown by those elements which, by losing 2 or 4 electrons, acquire a stable configuration of F0, F7 or F14. Example, europium in +2 state is Xe 4f7, ytterbium in +2 state is Xe 4f14, cerium in +4 state is Xe 4f0, and Tb in +4 state is Xe 4f7. Each case tends to revert the more stable oxidation state of +3 by loss or gain of an electron. That is why Sm2+, Eu2+, and Yb2+ ions in solutions are good reducing agents, and aqueous solution of cerium ion and Tb+4 are good oxidizing agents. The E0 value for Ce4+/Ce3+ is 1.74 volt, which suggests that it can oxidize water. However, the reaction rate is very slow, and hence cerium in +4 state is used as a good analytical reagent. Exceptions, it may be noticed from the table that some elements show an oxidation state of +2 or +4 even though their ions do not have F0 and F7 or F14 configuration there. Example, Pr in +4 state 4f1, Nd in +2 state 4f4, Nd in +4 state 4f2, Sm in +2 state 4f6, Dy in +4 state 4f8, etc. Next, we come to the important topic of this F block element, and it is atomic and ionic radii of lanthanoids. So in lanthanoid series, with increasing atomic number, there is a progressive decrease in the atomic as well as ionic radii of trivalent ions from lanthanum in +3 state to lutetium in +3 state there. And this regular decrease, that is contraction in the atomic and ionic radii of lanthanoids with increasing atomic number, is known as lanthanoid contraction. So every year the question comes on this part, and it is asked, define lanthanoid contraction, what are the causes of lanthanoid contraction, and also write the consequences of lanthanoid contraction. So definition of lanthanoid contraction is the regular decrease in the atomic and ionic radii with increase in atomic number is known as lanthanoid contraction. So I'll show you here. You can see this ionic radius versus atomic number, and you can see as the atomic number is increasing, there is decrease in the ionic radius, and this is called as your lanthanoid contraction. You can see here also in the table, the atomic radii and the ionic radii are decreasing with increase in atomic number. Let us come to the cause of lanthanoid contraction. So as we move along the lanthanoid series, the nuclear charge increases by 1 unit at each successive element. The new electron is added into the same subshell, and as a result, the attraction on the electrons by the nucleus increases, and thus this tends to decrease the size. Further, as the new electron is added into the F subshell, there is imperfect shielding of one electron by another in this subshell due to the shapes of F orbitals. And this imperfect shielding is unable to counterbalance the effect of the increased nuclear charge. Hence, the net result is contraction in the size, though the decrease is very small. And it is interesting to note that in lanthanoids, the decrease in the atomic radius for 14 elements, cerium 58 to lutetium 71, is only 11 picometer. Similarly, decrease in ionic radii from cerium in +3 state to lutetium in +3 state is only 17 picometer, 103 to 86 picometer respectively. The contraction is similar to that is observed in any transition series, and the cause is also similar, just as in transition series, where the contraction is due to imperfect shielding of one d electron by another. But the shielding of one 4f electron by another is less than one d electron by another, with increase in nuclear charge along the series. Next, we come to the consequences of lanthanoid contraction. There are 3 consequences of lanthanoid contraction. The first consequence is difficulty in separation of lanthanoid elements. Since the change in ionic radii in lanthanoids is very small, their chemical properties are similar, and this makes the separation of the lanthanoids in the pure state difficult. However, lanthanoid contraction results in slight difference in the size of the lanthanoids, which results in the differences in properties like solubility, complex ion formation, hydration, basic character of the hydroxides, etc. And these differences enable the separation of individual lanthanoid elements by ion exchange methods. So the first consequence is difficulty in separation of lanthanoid elements. Let's see the second consequence. It is similarity in the size of elements belonging to the same group of second and third transition series. We in general know that the size of the atoms increases down the group. However, whereas the size of the atom of any element lying in the second transition series is larger than that of the atom of the element lying in the same group of the first transition series. The size of any atom of the third transition series, that is after lanthanum, is nearly the same as that of the atom lying in the same group of the second transition series. So I'll show you here in this group number, first transition series, second transition series, and third transition series there. So if you look at the second and third transition series, here zirconium and hafnium almost have the same size. Niobium and tantalum, you can see they also have almost the same size, 146 picometer. So the similarity in the size of the atoms of the elements belonging to the same group of second and the third transition series after lanthanum is due to the lanthanoid effect of lanthanoid contraction. The third consequence is the effect on the basic strength of hydroxides. So as the size of the lanthanoid ions decreases from lanthanum ion to lutetium ion, La3 plus to Lu3 plus, the covalent character of the hydroxides increases and hence the basic strength decreases. Thus, lanthanum hydroxide, LaOH whole thrice, is most basic, whereas lutetium hydroxide, LuOH whole thrice, is least basic. So you will learn three things here. Define lanthanoid contraction. What are the causes of lanthanoid contraction? And the third one is the consequences of lanthanoid contraction. All the three are very important, and once it has come under 5 marks in your board examination. So you will prepare this well. Next, we come to some important characteristics of lanthanoid elements. First characteristic feature is silvery appearance and softness. So all lanthanoids are silvery white metals and they tarnish rapidly in air. Their hardness increases with increase in atomic number. Samarium is exceptionally hard like steel. Melting points. They have high melting points in the range of 1000 to 1200 Kelvin, except samarium, which has a very high melting point of 1623 Kelvin. Electrical and thermal conductivity. All of them have typical metallic structure and are good conductors of heat and electricity. Density and other properties. They have high density, which lie in the range 6.77 to 9.74 gram per centimeter cube. Density and other properties vary smoothly with increase in atomic number, except for europium and ytterbium, and occasionally for Sm and Tm respectively. Color. The lanthanoid elements are silvery white metals. However, most of the trivalent metal ions are colored both in the solid state and in aqueous solution, and this is due to the partly filled f orbitals which permit FF transition. Next, magnetic behavior. Paramagnetism is shown by the positive ions of lanthanoids except La3 plus and Lu3 plus. This because the La3 plus is having F0 configuration and Lu3 plus is having F14 configuration there. And this property of the lanthanoids is because of the presence of unpaired electrons in the incomplete 4F subshell. And lanthanoids differ from transition elements in the fact that their magnetic moments do not obey spin-only formula, that is mu effective equals to root over n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton, where n is the number of unpaired electrons. This is because in case of transition elements, the orbital contribution is quenched by the electric field of the environment. But in case of lanthanoids, 4f orbitals lie too deep to be quenched. Hence, the magnetic moment is calculated by considering spin as well as orbital contribution. That is, mu effective is equal to root over 4s into s plus 1 plus L into L plus 1 Bohr magneton, where s is the spin quantum number and L is the orbital quantum number. So we calculate using this formula for that of lanthanoid elements, magnetic moment, mu effective. Ionization enthalpies. The first ionization enthalpies of lanthanoids are around 600 kilojoules per mole. The second about 1200 kilojoules per mole, which are comparable with those of calcium. The variation of the third ionization enthalpies shows that just as in case of 3D transition series, the loss of the first 2 electron is accompanied by exchange enthalpy. Further, the loss of third electron is easier. That is, the third ionization enthalpy is low if it leads to stable, empty, half-filled or completely filled configuration, as indicated by the abnormally low third ionization enthalpies of lanthanum, gadolinium and lutetium. Electropositive character. They are highly electropositive because of their low ionization enthalpies. Standard electrode potentials. The standard reduction potentials, that is inert values for the reaction M3 plus plus 3E minus gives M in solid state, lies in the range of -2.2 to -2.4 volt, the only exception being europium, for which the E0 values is -2 volt. Reducing agents. They readily lose electrons and thus act as good reducing agents. Complex formation. The lanthanoids do not have much tendency to form complexes. The tendency to form complexes and the stability increases with increase in atomic number. Chemical behavior. The first few members of the series are quite reactive, almost like calcium. However, with increasing atomic number, their behavior becomes similar to that of aluminium. A few properties are given below. They combine with hydrogen on gentle heating. When heated with carbon, they form carbides. On burning in the presence of halogen, they form halides. They react with dilute acids to liberate hydrogen gas. They form oxides and hydroxides of the type M2O3 and MOH thrice, which are basic like alkaline earth metal oxides and hydroxides. Representing the lanthanoids by the general formula Ln, the general reactions may be represented as shown below. Lanthanoid on treatment with halogens gives lanthanum halide LNX3. On treatment with carbon at high temperature 2773 Kelvin forms lanthanum carbides. With dilute acids, it liberates hydrogen gas. When burnt in oxygen, forms oxides. When heated with nitrogen, forms lanthanum nitrides. Heated with sulfur, forms lanthanum sulfides. And on treatment with water, gives lanthanum hydroxides along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Next, we come to the uses of lanthanoids. Lanthanoids do not find any use in the pure state. The most important use of lanthanoids is in the production of alloys, steels, to improve the strength and workability of steel. A well-known alloy is mish metal, which has the following composition. Lanthanoid metals 95%, about 50% cerium, 40% lanthanum and the rest lanthanoids. Iron 5%, sulfur, carbon, calcium and aluminium are present in traces. So well-known alloy of lanthanoid elements is mish metal. The maximum amount of mish metal is used in making a magnesium-based alloy. It is pyrophoric alloy and is used in making bullets, shells and lighter flames. Their oxides are used in glass industry for polishing glass and for making optical glasses such as Crookes lenses, as they give protection against UV light, and as phosphor for television screens and similar fluorescing surfaces. Mixed oxides of lanthanoids are used as catalysts in petroleum cracking. Because of their magnetic and ferromagnetic properties, their compounds are used in making magnetic and electronic devices. Ferric sulfate is a well-known oxidizing agent in volumetric analysis. Recently, lanthanoids have attracted considerable attention because of their use in lasers. Thus, neodymium oxide dissolved in selenium oxychloride is one of the most powerful liquid laser known so far. So here we finished with the uses of lanthanoids. Thank you, children, and we'll study about the actinoids in the next chapter. Till then, once